Hello guys and welcome. Hello guys and welcome to Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. Today we're going to discuss the 8th house. That's why I'm in black, because the 8th house is the house originally of Scorpio. Okay, this is the 8th house in the Vedic Astrology. And the number here is 2 because this is Taurus. For Libra ascendant, 8th house will be ruled by Taurus. So 8th house is also known as Ayurbhava, and it is related, as I told you, to Scorpio, because Scorpio is the original 8th zodiac sign and Mars is the ruler. So now we are going to discuss one of the most difficult houses in the Vedic astrology. Let's start now. Okay, so the 8th house, the motto of the 8th house is the same as the motto of the Scorpio, I destroy. The direction is again, it's again west, but not the true west. The true west is 7th house. Karka is Saturn. Digbhava, there are no planets that find directional strengths in this house, and the type of the house, this is Dushtana house. This is the second Dushtana house. This is a very difficult house because it concerns longevity and death. That's why it's a difficult house, and it is Marka house too. The body parts that this house rules are the reproductive system and the genitals, the same as Scorpio. So now, this is the short explanation of the characteristic of this house, and now we're going to see the key signification. Okay? First, the most important thing is that this is the house of death. Death and rebirth, transformation. The way you can find death, the means of death, can be shown in this house. This is the house of long-term and chronic diseases. This is the house of sexuality, hidden sexuality, gay, lesbians, transgenders. This is the main house of sex. You can see your sexual charisma, you can see your sexual desires here, you can see all your hidden desires, everything that is hidden, everything that is under the ground, you can see it in this house. This is the house of other people's money, insurance, inheritance, your partner's money. This is the house of your in-laws. So if you want to know what will be your family, the family of your partner, you have to check your the 8th house, because this is the second from the 7th. Okay, this is the house of your wife force. This is the house of your will and legacy. So if you want to know whether you leave a legacy for the future generation, 8th house can show you that. This is the house of misfortunes. This is the house of accidents. This is the house of humiliation, disgrace. This is the house of sudden changes. So nobody likes sudden changes, right? So that's why this is difficult house. This is the house of I told you, transformation. This is the house of hidden emotions. Everything that is hidden, deep psychological issues. This is the house of psychology, psychotherapy. All the good people that are very good psychologists, for example, they have strong 8th house, or at least they have strong 12th house, which is more spirituality, but still 8th house, Scorpio, these signs, the Scorpio sign and 8th house, they have to be strong. For example, I watched the chart of one Bulgarian sexologist, or person who is working in this field, sexologist, I think this is the term, and this person, she had 4 or 5 planets in Scorpio, which is the original ruler of the 8th house, and Scorpio is sex, psychotherapy, and she's very famous psychologist and sexologist in Bulgaria. But 8th house will show you whether you are good, you will be good in psychotherapy and this kind of field, psychology field. This is the house of your subconscious. This is the house of everything that is hidden in yourself, everything that is deep emotional issues, as I told you, deep, how to say it, deep-rooted issues in yourself. So that's why you have to check the 8th house in order to know what you have to fix in order to overcome these issues. This is the house of astrology. This is the house of occult, mysticism, taboos. So if you want to know whether you will be a good astrologer, you can check your 8th house. This is the house of the loans too, I forgot to say, and this is the house of the endings. Not only bad endings, maybe there are good endings too. But mainly this is the house of the endings. This house is related with control and power. That's why it's related with legacy and will. One of the most powerful people have strong 8th house because Scorpio is very powerful sign, very intense sign. So these are the main characteristics of the 8th house. And now we are going to see the planets in the 8th house. Of course, as you already know, this is just a general explanation of the planets through 8th house. If you want to know really how this will be reflected in your chart, you have to know your own chart. Okay? So we start with the Sun. If you have Sun here, basically only Mercury feels happy in this house, to be honest. Of course, if the planet is in a good sign or exalted, the situation is different, but mainly Mercury is happy in this house. Sun can bring very powerful spouse and powerful family, but if it's debilitated, this can mean problems with the father, disgrace, humiliation of the father and the family. Moon doesn't feel happy too here, but it will make you very emotional with very probably emotional issues if it's debilitated. But if it's in good sign, this means that you can earn money from loans, you can earn money from inheritance, you can earn money from your family in woe, or you have a very beautiful and nice caring spouse and marriage, because this is the marriage life. This can show you the spouse, family, and you can see from the 4th house what will be the family, what kind of family you have after marriage. This is the 4th house. 7th house is your spouse. 8th house is your life after marriage. I mean, what kind of marriage it shows this too. As I told you, Mercury here likes to be here. Because this is the house of deep thinking, and Mercury loves to think. So Mercury feels very happy here. Of course, depends on the sign. If it's debilitated, it will not be very happy. But people with Mercury likes to speak about very deep things, about, for example, psychology or issues. They like to fix the issue, to make a research of the issue. This is the house of the hidden life. So maybe they can speak. People with Mercury here, maybe they speak about the hidden mysteries in life, about the secrets, because this is a secretive house. The house of secrets, the house of scandals, humiliation. So sometimes Mercury would like to discuss these type of topics. If you have Mars here and if it's debilitated, this means that you have to be very careful, because maybe there will be surgeries, maybe there will be a lot of accidents. You have to be careful how you drive your car, for example, not to be very fast. If you have Venus here, it can bring a lot of wealth. If Venus is good placed, it can bring very luxurious, very luxurious life and very beautiful spouse too. If it's debilitated, it may bring a lot of money, but maybe your spouse can cheat on you. If you have Jupiter, this will bring a lot of big family. Your in-law family will be very big. It can bring a lot of spirituality in the house, and maybe you can have business with spirituality, occult, astrology, or you can teach other people, or your profession or your life or transformation can become through teaching and preaching, because 8th house, as I told you, is very deep psychological house. And Jupiter here can make you preacher, teacher, can make you even life coach, something like that. Saturn is the karka of this house, so Saturn here will delay your death and will make you live longer, because this is the house of longevity. So this will make your life longer. For example, if you have Capricorn here, if you have Aquarius here, which are signs that are ruled by Saturn, they can make your life longer, and your death will not be sudden, but depends, of course, on your chart. Rahu here can bring a lot of sudden events, a lot of issues, probably at least at the beginning of your life, deep psychological issues, deep emotional issues, issues with your family, in-law. But maybe if you read more about astrology, occult, mysticism, this can a little bit balance Rahu. If you have Ketu here, this means that you will need to look in your soul and in your mind and heal the issues in your soul. Ketu here will make you very spiritual. Definitely you will need to at least read about astrology, occult, mysticism, taboo. Will make you very different, and your family will be very different. My advice is not to take loans, insurance. You can make insurance, of course, but don't take other people's money, because this can cause some problems, because Ketu will create problems. There will be lack of inheritance, or lack of family, or lack of spouse in some way, because Ketu is detachment. But Ketu here can give you even psychic abilities. Okay? So the outer planets, Uranus here can bring a lot of changes in your family, and a lot of problems with in your in-laws, a lot of transformation, always changing, always developing, always transforming yourself, and very rebellious in your approach, and this can create a lot of issues inside of you, psychological issues. Neptune here can create a lot of delusions about your family. It can be careful with loans and other people's money, because they can not be real. I mean, for example, you can take something, I don't know how to explain, but be careful if you take other people's money, because they can be illusion, they can be foggy, because Neptune is a foggy planet. Neptune can create cheating spouse too in this case, because Neptune, as I told you, it's a planet of illusion and foggy planet. Neptune here can make you very intuitive. So if you have Neptune here, that can speak about, that can say more about you, that you have strong intuition, and you have to follow it. Of course, depends on the sign. Okay. And Pluto here means a big transformation. Be careful. Death and rebirth, not literally. Not only literally, maybe literally, depends on the sign, but like a phoenix, you die in order to get born again. It can bring legacy forever. Pluto is a powerful planet, and people with Pluto in 8th house can have big legacy, and they can be remembered in the world, which is a good thing. Okay guys, this was my analysis of the 8th house. So we didn't have a game. So okay, let's see fast something. If we have, for example, 8th Lord in the 6th house. No, not in the 6th house. This is Viparit Raj Yoga, but and we don't know about that. I didn't tell you about Viparit Raj Yoga. Okay, if you have 8th house Lord in the 9th house, what will happen in your opinion? You can pause now the video and leave a comment, and we'll see what will happen. Okay guys, so 8th house, you know what is 8th house, is going to 9th house. 9th house is the house of education, the house of father, guru, teacher. So everything that is 8th house will in somehow transfer to the 9th house, because the Lord, which is the ruler, in this case it is Venus, because Taurus is the ruler of the 8th house and Venus is in the 9th house. So the ruler of the very difficult house goes in the house of father, the house of guru. This means scandals, humiliation for the father if it's badly placed. In this case it will not be very bad because it's in Gemini, and Gemini is a friend, Mercury is a friend of Venus. But maybe there will be scandals. Maybe you have scandals with your teachers, maybe you have scandals with your guru, with your father. Maybe you need, at the first part of your life you will have difficulties in your education. Maybe you have difficulties in your traveling, long distance traveling, because 9th house is long distance traveling. If 8th house Lord Venus in this case goes in the 5th house, the house of children, the house of love and romance, this means big transformation, big problems, big death and rebirths concerning children, love and romance. Or it can make you very, very controlling and very jealous or control-seeking person for your children. But basically the house of death and rebirth can cause a lot of problems in the house of children and love and romance. So of course this is generally speaking. Everyone has different chart and different karma, so I speak generally. Okay, I hope you like this video, and we'll proceed with 9th house. See you soon.